I, 34F, am the so of a wonderful man that has a special needs child, 9. I had been in their lives for a few years, and now live with them. And I have been talking about marriage, which is what brought me here. BM has shown no interest in meeting me, which I was dumbfounded by, but I accepted it as it is what it is situation. I have heard horror stories about her from others, but understand there are always two sides of a story and have tried to reserve judgment because I don't have any first-hand experiences with her. Yesterday, I was made aware that BM has been threatening my so by telling him that she will figure out how to get a hold of me to tell me he cheated on me with her. There is no part of me that believes this accusation. I have moved past the audacity of this woman and am now trying to figure out how to make it clear my so and I are solid and don't feel threatened by her immature threats. To be clear, I don't have a relationship with this woman and at the moment cannot imagine ever having a healthy relationship with her. It's not impossible that we could figure out a co-parenting relationship in the future, but at the moment that day feels a million years away. Here's where I need some advice. I want to take the high road, so I was thinking about getting a Mother's Day card for her this year, which thanks her for bringing her child into this world, and a Starbucks card. Obviously, I have time to think about it, but I'm not sure if this is a good idea. My intention is to show her I'm not a threat and that her immature antics have not swayed my love for her ex, my so. It may also be helpful to know that I met my so years after they broke up after she cheated on him. I mention this to show there is no reasonable explanation for her to try to ruin our relationship other than to get a reaction from him. Would the card be a good idea, or do you think it would create more drama? BD biodaughter or biodad, yes, it's ambiguous. BM biomom. BS bioson. CO court order, legal documents such as parenting plan, custody order, etc. DH dear husband. EOW every other week. EOWE every other weekend. OH other half. SD stepdaughter or stepdad, yes, it's ambiguous. SM stepmom. SO significant other. SS stepson. Next story. I, 30F, am in a relationship with my BF, 33M, and have been now for 1 year and 4 months. We went to high school together and used to eat breakfast together a lot before school, but never dated. I had a massive crush on him but was just so awkward and weird I never said anything. Fast forward to 2022, he reached out to me and we began reconnecting. He told me he had liked me in school but had never said anything and that he saw I was single and wanted to meet for dinner. We did meet up and proceeded to develop our relationship long distance for about 3 months. We spoke at length about his 3 kids that he had from his previous marriage and about his marriage to their BM, which lasted for many years, but ended after repeated infidelity on her part. We waited 6 months before we felt it was appropriate for me to meet the kids, however he did talk to them about me as his girlfriend beforehand to ease them into it. We waited mostly because I was so nervous and also because BM had been making our lives hell since we went public with our relationship at the beginning. She is very manipulative and narcissistic and regularly uses verbal abuse and threats to harm herself to get what she wants. We were united in not reacting to her tactics, setting clear boundaries, and just focusing on living our lives and building our relationship. My first meeting with the kids went well in my opinion. We went to dinner at a place they like and they talked among themselves and teased each other and their dad a lot, but not much direct conversation with me, which I expected. I just enjoyed being there and laughed at them teasing their dad, but didn't push to be in the middle of it or force any conversation. After dinner I met up with them and we went bowling. On the way to the bowling alley, they had stopped at Walmart to look at toys and the kids 14F, 11F, and 5M had told their dad they wanted to bring me a gift, which was very sweet and super thoughtful. While bowling, the 14F began talking to me and ended up chatting with me the whole time and warmed up to me very quickly. She was the one I was most worried about. The 11 years old was a little more reserved but talked to me several times and seemed warm. The 5 years old of course was very warm and open, so no concerns there. Shortly after this initial meeting, BM instigated a verbal argument with my BF, which she secretly recorded and then filed false allegations of abuse against him and took the kids away for about 6 months before we were finally able to get back into court. At that time he was granted supervised visitation. His lawyer didn't fight that very hard, until we have a full-day custody hearing later this year. To clarify, she said he hit her despite him having a witness that he didn't. His lawyer also didn't fight that and recommended he take a plea arrangement where it wouldn't go on his record, but she recorded the verbal altercation and it looked very bad because he did lose it and yell a lot of things at her that had been building up. He snapped, because she had recently hit the 14-year-old in the face, not for the first time, and then said some racial slurs about me that day which he got very upset about. Recently, before visitation started with the kids, I moved in with my BF due to some family issues I was having, and I stayed with him a majority of the time anyway because he didn't have the kids. I originally did not want to live together until we were at least engaged, to protect the kids' peace and stability. I'm honestly terrified to make any decisions at all most of the time because I don't want to upset them or hurt them emotionally at all, but they seemed fine with it. They were actually happy about it because I have been helping clean up the house and they have gotten really excited about cleaning up their rooms and making them nice. It was a bachelor/single dad mess. Anyway, after visitation started up again, the kids seem happy to see us, and even ask about me when I'm not there for our weekends together. The 14-year-old says I'm her best friend and the 11-year-old loves to tell me about movies she is currently obsessed with. I feel good about how my relationship with them has progressed, but I'm still nervous about what my role in the family is. I don't have my own kids, but I do want one of my own. I love kids. I don't really see myself ever being a stepmom, because they already have a mother, but I don't even really know what it means to be in this role of dad's GF or if we get married the new wife. I just want them to have a safe place with us, and never feel like they have to pick sides between us and their BM. I don't like her at all. She self-harms, she has an STD from sleeping around, she lies and manipulates, and she calls the 14-year-old names that I wouldn't say to a grown woman that I hated, but I never say anything bad about her with the kids around, and if they bring her up in conversation I always make sure to make them feel comfortable talking about her around us. I don't want her name to seem like a bad word in our house. I am super anxious because I don't know how long BM is going to make our lives harder and we just want to live our lives, buy a house, get married, have dinners, and road trips with the kids. It just seems like she might make that impossible out of jealousy. Plus, if she gets full custody, she wants to move them about an hour away, which means the kids will have to switch schools. The 14-year-old doesn't want to live with her because she is mean to her, but I'm not sure how it's going to work out with the court stuff. I want to get to a point where I don't feel so anxious about making the wrong step because she will try to use against him, and unfortunately in my experience with this experience in the family court system it is very slanted against the dad in a lot of cases. For some reason, courts just don't think the mothers can do anything wrong, and since I'm the thing that she hates the most, I feel like I'm under a microscope and one wrong step, she will yank the kids away from him again. Sorry if this seems a little bit like rambling. It's just a very long convoluted story. Any advice is appreciated.